In this video, we're going to discuss when you should update or consider updating your estate plan. I'm attorney Sarah Siedentopf. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to tell you about 7 times that I think you should consider updating your estate plan. And so the first one is if you got married. So it's incredibly important to understand that if you have a will from before your marriage, as soon as you get married, that will is completely messed up. It's not entirely revoked, but the court assumes that you forgot to change it, and so, the new spouse is getting, no less than a third, depending, maybe more, depending on whether there are children, and so it's completely messed up. So, if you've gotten married, update your estate plan. If you've gotten divorced, update your estate plan. So, if you have an estate plan that happened during marriage, when you get divorced, the court assumes that you no longer want, your ex-spouse to be acting as your executor, and so proceeds with pretending that that person has passed away, and everything sort of occurs as if they have already passed away. And so this is not quite as bad as what happens if you get married after a will, but it can cause a lot of problems, and it does not fix beneficiary designations. So beneficiary designations on your life insurance, on your IRA, on your whatever, if those don't get updated, it's still going to the ex-spouse. So, as part of your whole estate plan, these are things we need to look at. Birth of your first child. This is another time that we need to look at updating our estate plan. Also a time when the court assumes that unless you can say in your will, in your trust, that this was done in contemplation of children, contemplation of more children, and then it will stay. But usually the court assumes that you, again, just forgot to update and you would have wanted them to get a share and sort of rewrites it for you. The next time is when you have more children. So subsequent children, and this may not be a time that you actually need to update it. What you need to do is check and make sure that the wording is correct, because we're going to have a problem if it says everything to child 1. Then the court's going to get involved and rewrite things, because again, they assume that you really meant to include child 2 and you just didn't get around to it. On the other hand, if you look at your documents and they say, equal distribution between, child 1 and any subsequent children that I have, you're good to go. We've already covered, and the court can see that we have, prepared for any subsequent children. Another time that you really need to look at your estate plan and definitely need to update it is changes in relationships with the important people, the person you've chosen as trustee over money, the person you've named as executor, the person you've named as your power of attorney if something happens to you. If these people are no longer close to you, maybe you're no longer friends at all, or maybe they've moved away out of the neighborhood or out of state, they wouldn't really want to do the job, you want to choose someone else. Don't leave that to chance. Don't wait. Go ahead and update it. The same thing if they've actually passed away. When someone important in your plan passes away, whether that is, someone who you've chosen as, executor, trustee, whatever, or a beneficiary. If an important beneficiary passes away, we want to rewrite, make sure that the correct person is inheriting whatever it is that they were going to inherit. Do we just want it to go straight to their kids? Is there someone else that, did they have kids? Is there someone else that we want it to go to? And then the last big one, and I do say big one because, much like marriage, creating a blended family, and it's might even be considered a subset of marriage. But when you create a blended family, it's not just as simple as what is new spouse going to get. We have to think about my children, your children, our children. who's getting what, under what circumstances, how do we make sure that what we've planned stays in place. So those are 7 times that I think you need to either, amend your estate plan, or at the very least go through it and make sure that it's still valid and it still covers the situation adequately. So if you've got questions about this, you've got an estate plan that has been around for a while and you're wondering if, maybe it needs a look at, please do give me a call. But thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. Thanks.